Hi there friends, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another Trinity Stamps video. Today we're going to be playing with a cool new die set and also some fun stamps. This is the brand new Stuffies stamp set. So cute with all these little critters that you can color up to look like they're little stuffed animals, and then all the fun sentiments that go along with that. And you of course don't have to use them as stuffed animals, but they're really fun in the die that I'm going to show you. But yes, I love this cute little set. We're going to use it with the A2 window box card, but we're not going to turn it into a box card. I will show you a box card here in a second for what this die is intended for. But yes, you can make this into a window box card. And then I pair it up with the Gashapon machine. I'd never known that that's what that was called before, but it's actually like what we would typically call it, a claw machine. We are going to make a claw machine shaker card with the window box card. So let me show you a window box. I did this with a Gashapon machine as well, along with that stamp set, and I used little bunnies in there. But look, it goes flat, fits in an A2 sized envelope, and then it can pop out to be a 3D box. And they're so fun to make. You're going to get addicted. But I did want to show you another way that you can use this. So let's get started with our stamping. I want to do a bunch of little dinosaurs. I'm trying to make this a little bit more of a neutral card, a little less feminine, maybe more masculine, but I mean, it could go neutral. It could go either way. So I'm stamping out a bunch of the little dinosaurs, and I'm going to color them all different colors. I do bring in 2 colors for each one. I use a lighter green for this one. I color 2 of them this color green, 2 of them yellow. I get an orange, a blue, a turquoise, a red, and a pink as well. And you can't really see the detail that I'm putting on there, so it's almost not necessary to add any of that extra if you don't want to. But I'm going to color those all up, and then I'm going to bring in the matching die, and we'll run this through our die cutting machine a bunch of different times, obviously, because we have so many little dinosaurs. And then we'll have all these little critters to go inside. I wish I'd have stamped out a few more. I thought I had enough, but I wanted to have a couple on the inside of the card, and I just didn't have enough. So we'll run that through. We've got all these fun little dinosaurs. We'll set those off to the side, and then let's die cut our window box. Again, not going to be a box, so I'm just going to cut one of these. If you were going to make it a box, you need 2. So I'm going to line this up on my piece of cardstock that measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And then I am only going to use this particular die in the center because I need that cut out. I'm not going to use the other one. It doesn't need to be cut out of the side. We're actually not going to use that part. So this is what one would look like. You would want a second one with no windows cut out of it, maybe just the side window. But we're going to cut that off. There's an embossed line. We're going to cut right along that, and this is all we need for the shaker card we're going to make today. To save a little time, I die cut out all the pieces that I needed from the Gashapon. I'm probably going to say it wrong a bunch of times. Die set. I'll use a piece of acetate, because once again, this is going to be a shaker card. And we'll just put a little glue on the top and the bottom, because this piece that I have was actually a scrap, and it barely fits. It does fit, but it barely fits. I'm going to work with that. Normally, if you were doing a shaker, you'd want to make sure that everything was nice and secure on all the edges, but I am going to secure it with that light green box piece on the front. So I'm going to put some glue all around that, and we'll attach this to the front. And then we can start building up the rest of the front as we need it. All right, so again, I went ahead and die cut out all the pieces, and your packaging's got to look a little different than mine. I went ahead and printed out all the pieces that would be for the packaging. Your packaging will, like I said, look a little bit different. And then I'm going to put some glue on each of those pieces. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to follow the picture. I'm not going to use the scalloped edges. Like I said, I wanted this to be a little bit more neutral, a little less feminine. And so I went ahead and die cut out 3 of those long pieces, one for the top and the bottom. And then we're going to put one underneath, I don't know what you'd call this part of the machine. It's not a keyboard because there is one button and there's a joystick. So maybe it's the keyboard part, but I don't think we called it that back then. So I'm not sure. But that kind of looks really 3D right there, doesn't it? So I'll pull out all the pieces, and then we'll talk about them as we're going to start putting them together. But you can follow along with your packaging and follow the instructions that way. So there is this outline of the joystick. I'm going to go ahead and put little dabs of glue on the back of the outline, and then I will grab the pieces as I need them. I die cut them out of red, I die cut them out of gray, and also some yellow. I wanted it to be 3 different colors, and so I'm using some reverse tweezers to put all of those pieces onto the back. And then we've got the top of our little joystick. And then when I flip that over, it's going to look really cool. That nice little outline piece. Then we can do the button. So I cut this out of black and some orange, and I'm going to put this bigger button piece down, but before I do that, I'm going to color it a little bit darker orange because I didn't die cut it out of 2 different oranges. I just did one, and I want them to have different colors. So the bigger piece is going to be darker, and the top piece is going to be lighter. It's going to give it more of a 3D look. And I'm using my pickup stick to make sure all those pieces are put into place. And then same sort of thing with the claw itself. I die cut most of those pieces out of some gray, and if I wanted one of them darker, I just used a marker. So we'll piece it together once again, following the packaging. That packaging is super important. So, and if you can't find what you're looking for all the time, or you need yours to be a little bit bigger, because sometimes my eyes don't always work, you can always go to the website and take a look. But now we're putting the claw pieces on, so I'll put little dollops of glue on the claw. You can make it as open or as closed as you want it to be. And then there's a little dot for the center of the claw. And then we have this green piece. It's the light pink piece. That's going to go above our claw. And then you can even go a little bit further by taking this piece, and you can attach it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then you can cut that down to whatever size you need it. You don't even have to use it if you don't want to. If you wanted the claw to be at the very top of the machine, you could do it that way too. So that's put together, and now we can put a couple of those. Our final piece for the front is the coin return. So I'm going to stack that on top of another piece of gray, and we'll go ahead and put that down on the machine. And then we'll put our button down, and then we can put our joystick down. Looking good. Starting to come together. I'm not going to put the opening for where the stuffy would come out yet. And the reason for that is because I want to add one of the little stuffies to it like he's coming out. So I'm going to wait. And now this part, do as I say, not as I do. I started putting dots of glue down thinking I could center those up just fine. I needed 9 dots. And the easier way to do this is to put a dot on each edge where you want one, because I have an odd number, right? So if I use the outside edges and then I put one right in the center of that, and then I put 2 more in the center of those, and then I center up inside each of those, then you have a much better chance of keeping things fairly centered and spaced apart. So that would be my one little bit to you. I think the little dollops of glue are going to throw you off, but thankfully my white glue dries clear, so you can't tell. So I'm going to move those around, manipulate those a little bit. Another reason why I use liquid glue is because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room, and then I can give the illusion that those are mostly evened out. And those are the lights. I'm not done with those yet, but those are the lights. So for our background, I have a piece of mixed media cardstock. This is just some black, and I don't know if you remember or if you went to any place that was like this. I'm assuming you were, or that maybe you did. But I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, and so the arcade that I went to, or the skate rink that I went to, had neon colors everywhere. That was just the thing. So I'm pulling out these neon solar pastes that are from Simon Hurley Create, putting tiny dollops on them on my glass mat and adding some water. And then I can just kind of water that down a little bit and basically turn it into a watercolor. But it's going to be an opaque watercolor, as long as you don't add too much water. And I want to splatter that on the edges that will be exposed to make it look like the neon splatter that I remember being everywhere when I was a kid. Any arcade that I seemed to go to, or like I said, the skate park that I went to, it wasn't a park, it was an indoor skating rink, that I went to, there was always like neon splatter. That was the thing on the carpeting or the walls or whatever. It was just everywhere. And so that's what I'm trying to go for here, because that Gashapon machine, we always had those at the arcade as well as at the skating rink. So you can't really see it a whole lot here on the camera, but I'm telling you, it looks really cool in person. That neon really stands out. All right, we'll clean up our mess, and then I'm going to hit this with my heat tool so that we can move on to the next part. All right, everything is nice and dry, so now we can attach the part of so that's mirror card. I went ahead and cut that down to 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches, and you notice that I have it attached to my Gashapon machine using a bit of mint tape, and then I did put some rip and stick tape onto the mirror card, and then I pulled off the release paper and stuck that down. That was just an easier way for me to do that. I hope that made some sense. And then I do want to add one of the little stuffies to the inside of the claw. And then to determine where it's going to be, I wish I'd have put him a little bit higher, to be honest with you, but in the end I ended up making it a whole lot further down. It's fine. It still looks cute, but I wish I'd have put him up a little bit higher. We'll trim off the excess, and then we're going to start adding stuffies to the mirror card. And I may have to cut those down as I go. But before I do that, we'll go ahead and attach down the opening where you'd grab your stuffies, or whatever it is you're getting out of the machine. And then we'll stick this down to the front of the machine. Like, you just won a yellow one, now we're trying to get the green one. All right, and now, like I said, we'll start attaching down all the rest of our dinosaurs. And I'm going to attach them like they're upside down, all around, behind each other, in front of each other. I will have to trim some of them down because it'll go too far beyond the mirror card, and I only have so much room on the side of that machine, otherwise it'll show. And we'll use that one last little headpiece and stick it behind like he's poking out. All right, so now that part is ready. We're going to need some foam tape. So I'm using a 3mm foam tape. 2mm is just fine. 2mm is the normal type of foam tape, but I have 3mm, so that's why we're doing that. I almost forgot about this piece. Not that it needed it, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in there anyway. Gives it a more realistic look, I suppose. And then we're going to make sure that we have a nice well from edge to edge so that our shaker pieces don't fall out. I'll peel off all of that release paper. Before I stick it down, I need to put my shaker bits in there. And so I'm going to grab these radiant rings. This is new. I'll use a spoon to put a few of those down right over the mirror card. And then I can attach down my machine over the top of that. And then we have our shaker all ready to go. So fun. All right, next up, I'm going to attach my panel down to a card base. It's just an A2 size card base. It was 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored at 4.25. And so then the next thing I want to do is think about my sentiment. So I'll stamp that out. I hope your day is stuffed with joy. This is going to be a birthday card. I didn't stamp on the inside yet. I may later. But as a last bit, of course, we're going to move on to embellishments. I'm going to put some of those radiant rings down on top of the lights to make them look a little bit shiny. And then finally, I'm going to add some of these little glitter stars in neon pink and yellow, and I'll have those linked down below as well, but I'm going to go a little bit crazy putting those everywhere because they're neon and I like them. All right, so that's going to finish off the card for today. I love how it is. It's kind of busy, but it's so fun and makes me feel very like it's retro and 80s and 90s, and it just makes me happy. So if you like it, please hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And be sure to check out all that Trinity Stamps has going on over on their blog, Facebook page, and Instagram for more crafty inspiration. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.